how to manage your appointments in PPS Express, including booking new appointments, modifying and deleting existing appointments, and marking appointments as DNA, did not attend. When logged into PPS, you can navigate to the appointments diary by clicking on Diary on the dashboard here, or on the navigation bar at the top here. Another way to book your appointments or start the booking process would be to click onto Book in the top right hand corner, and rather than taking you to your diary so you can see the slots that are available for just this week, this will allow you to navigate even further ahead in time. So if you're looking for an appointment which is in the future by a few weeks, clicking on the Book button will allow you to navigate further ahead rather than just jumping to the diary and using the calendar to navigate through the different weeks. Now if it's an appointment for this coming week, it's nice and easy just to click onto the diary button, which will then take you to this week in your appointments diary and show you the availability for this week. If you need to jump to a certain day or a certain week, you can use the calendar at the top of the diary here, which will then show you all of the dates for this month, and of course you can use the arrows at the top here to navigate to future months. And that will then load and show you the appointment slots that you have available for that particular week. If you click onto this week, it will then bring you back to the current week in your appointments diary. Choosing a slot to book in is nice and easy, so any of the slots that are white are available appointment slots, and to book a new appointment in any of those slots, it's just a case of clicking onto the slot, and then on the right hand side you will see you have the option to either book a new appointment or block out some time. So in this particular guide we're just going to look at booking a new appointment. So once I've clicked new appointment, PPS will then prompt me to search for a client, which will of course be the client that I want to book in for the treatment. So I can pop in any part of my client's name, reference number, email, telephone, town or postcode, and PPS will then search on those details and find the relevant client for me. It will show a list of results that match my search details, and I can just choose the relevant client from the list that it presents just below. Once I've clicked on my client, PPS will then bring me to this screen here, where I can choose from a drop-down menu of treatments that we have already set up in the system. If the treatment that I choose is longer than the typical appointment slot duration that I have my diary set up in, so I have my diary in 30 minutes, but this treatment usually lasts 60, PPS will prompt you at this stage that it is going to take up 60 minutes rather than 30. And of course you can then choose whether to continue with booking this particular appointment or change the appointment type to something more suitable. At this point I can also add additional notes, so if there's anything I need to be aware of in terms of this appointment booking, I can add the details down here. Once I've chosen my appointment type and added any additional information, I can click Save. That will then book my appointment into the diary, which will then take you back to your appointments diary screen where you can see that that appointment is now in your diary for the week. If for any reason I need to remove or modify any of my appointments, I can simply click onto the appointment again, and you'll see this pop-out window appears to the right hand side, and I have the option here to modify my appointment. Once I've clicked to modify my appointment, it will bring me to this window here, where I can then make any necessary changes. So if I need to update information such as the practitioner that my appointment is booked with, the appointment type, the duration, or even the client, any of the details that you see on this screen you can update and therefore modify your appointment. And once you've done so, if you click Save, it will take you back to your appointments diary where you will see the updated appointment. Alternatively, from time to time we may need to remove appointments, for example if we've added one to the diary in error, in which case again we can just click onto the appointment that we want to remove, and then right at the bottom of that pop-out list of options is the option to delete my appointment. So if I click onto delete, it will just take me to another screen where it will just allow me to confirm that I do want to delete the appointment, so just ensuring that you cannot remove an appointment by mistake, and then we'll have to confirm the deletion by clicking delete here. Now alternatively, in some scenarios, it may be that your client is no longer able to attend an appointment, but the correct method of recording that is not to delete it. We might want to record it as a cancellation, in which case we may want to charge the client for if we have late cancellation fees, or we might just want to record it so that we can keep track of which clients are able to attend, or any reasons for non-attendance, so that we can keep on top of that kind of thing in the future. In which case, again, if we just click on the appointments that we want to mark as DNA, so did not attend, that pop-out window appears to the right-hand side again, and towards the bottom you'll see we have the option to mark it as did not attend. So if we click that red bar, it will bring me to this window here where we can choose some options from the drop-down menus. So we're marking it as a DNA. We also have the option to decide if we want to reopen the appointment slot. And what that will do is still keep a record of the cancelled appointment in the appointments diary, but what it will do is just move it to the bottom of the available slots for that day rather than taking up that slot, because if the client cancels in good time, we might want to move that appointment out of the diary and book somebody else in who's waiting for a slot. We can choose a DNA reason from the drop-down menu, and if there are any charges associated to that particular DNA reason, or if we want to charge the client, we can raise those at this point as well. So we can enter a charge description here and a charge amount just below, which will then automatically total the amount for you just below there. If the client is also paying at this point, we can record how they have paid by just choosing the payment method from the drop-down menu. We can add additional notes at the bottom here, and if we are charging the client but they're not paying at this moment in time, we can tick this button right at the bottom to email them a copy of the invoice. If it's a free of charge cancellation, then of course you can leave all of these boxes empty and we can just click save. And if I've chosen not to reopen that appointment slot, which I have in this scenario, you'll see that the entry in the diary simply gets updated to red, so I can see at a glance that that client is no longer going to be attending, and we can see the cancellation reason at the bottom there.